Skylar Meade, the escaped inmate, and Nicholas Umphenour, the man whom police say shot 2 Idaho Correction officers in March in the effort of breaking Meade out of prison, along with Tia Garcia, who allegedly drove the getaway car from the hospital, appeared in court in Ada County today. Derek Kay has been following this story since the news broke. She joins us in the studio with more.
Thanks, Brittany. Skylar Meade made a virtual court appearance in court this morning, along with Tia Garcia and Nicholas Umphenour. All three were scheduled to have their preliminary hearing for April 29th until Meade changed his mind. Skylar Meade demanded to have his preliminary hearing immediately instead of waiting until April 29th. Judge Abraham Wingrove scheduled Meade's prelim to begin later Monday afternoon, during which 3 witnesses took the stand to identify him as the escaped inmate from the Idaho Correctional Center.
You showed me 2 videos. The first one would be the defendant walking out of the hospital. The second video would be the shooting that occurred in the parking lot of the hospital.
And those are both on that thumb drive?
Correct.
Mark Roja helped authorities obtain the security footage from St. Alphonsus. He also took to the stand to explain what happens when inmates come to the hospital.
Is it common for IDOC to bring inmates to St. Al's?
Oh, yes.
How do you know? Do they tell you they're coming?
Oftentimes they'll come via ambulance, and the ambulance will call our emergency room and let them know they're incoming.
The next witness was a violent crimes detective from the Boise Police Department. He was called out to assist in the investigation related to the hospital ambush on March 20th. He took the stand to describe what he saw when reviewing the hospital's surveillance footage.
Mr. Meade was being escorted by 3 correction officers out of the St. Alphonsus emergency room department out into the parking lot where the ambulance bay is located.
And in watching the surveillance footage, did you note anything about Mr. Meade's person relative to his status as a prisoner?
I did.
What did you notice?
He appeared to have leg restraints, some type of restraint around his waist and his wrists.
Detective Canfield also reviewed the footage of the actual escape.
Escort of Mr. Meade into the ambulance bay continues until they reach I guess you could say a prison transport van. Upon reaching the passenger side of the van, the 3 guards and Mr. Meade are approached by another individual who appears to point an object at them and shoot and fire rounds at them, and ultimately Mr. Meade and this individual flee the area together.
The detective then stated that the footage showed both the shooter and Mr. Meade run to a parked vehicle and driving off headed westbound. Canfield also identified the injured officers during the ambush as correctional officers Wilski, Lopez, and Jackson. Judge Wingrove found that there was a probable cause that Meade committed the alleged actions in the state of Idaho's complaint and scheduled his next hearing for April 17th. The third witness was a man who worked at the IDOC headquarters and was able to identify Meade through photos. The third witness also stated on the stand before Meade's escape from prison, he had a lengthy term to serve up until year 2036. However, he would have been eligible for parole in 2 years. In the studio, Derek Kay for KMVT News.
All right, thank you, Derek.